Greetings, I'm Michael O'Connor, and with me today is Mileen Joines, and thanks for joining us at the well.
Oh, you're welcome. Mike.
Yeah.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, Mileen, I think what I'm going to begin with is from the gospel, it was from James, and it was this phrase: "What does it profit, my brethren, if someone says he has faith, but does not have works?" So that's kind of the topic that we're going to be talking about. What exactly does it mean to have works? I mean, you can have faith, you believe in things, but faith without doing is kind of empty. But I've talked to you, and you are involved in so many different things. And so just share with me a little bit about, why do you get involved in helping other people? And just give me your background, maybe the way you were brought up, and maybe some stories about how your parents raised you. What made you be such a nice person?
Oh, wow. Only God knows that. Well, I like that, the way you started off that, because I'm a firm believer that you can preach the gospel, but if you have to, use words.
I love that phrase. If you have to use the words.
Yeah, because I think our actions speak a lot more than words. A lot of people, speak a lot, talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. So I wasn't brought up with probably a lot of service, simply because of the era that I was brought up with, because my mom and dad both, worked back then, and mom worked in the home and dad worked in the factory, and so we had 5 kids, and so there was a lot going on with lots of acreage to take care of. But one thing I always remember is that we always had time for anybody that was in need, and that could be a neighbor. Started off at a very young age. My dad quit school in 7th grade simply to take care of his siblings.
Wow.
Because that's what needed to be done, and so if it was something at church, my mom was back then they had circles, and they called them circles, and it was groups of women who cleaned the church and did various things for funerals, things like that. And then we always had our church picnic. Mom would cook, dad would scrape the plates, and us kids would run around with all the games. But it really incorporated into me that, other people's, there's always somebody worse off than you are, always. And so if you can reach out and just help them with their day, then it brings me lots of joy. And that's why I wanted to talk to you about service, because to me, I kind of took a look at my life and said, that's what brings me joy.
Right.
In my people that have retired and they think, well, then I've got time now to do something. I ought to go volunteer. But to have them go walk into an organization, one of the hospitals or something, then they kind of pull back and they don't want to do something like that. And there's so many people that need help in such little ways. It doesn't have to be a major organization. I mean, it's kind of a pay it forward thing. If we just think about how we can just help somebody's day to keep them have it a little bit easier, then we don't fret about our own small worries.
Yeah.
Their happiness kind of takes over our mind, and we don't have to be thinking about our small things that's wrong with our life. So that's why I guess I like even the small things. And yes, it can be organizations. There's so many organizations that need help, definitely. And everybody has time, talents, and treasures. Everybody does. And it doesn't have to be a lot of time, talents, and treasures.
No, it doesn't. But I like what you said, because a lot of people think this way. Oh, I'm retired now. Now I can start doing these things. Well, you can do these things throughout the day, every day of your life. It's not something that you have to wait for, to have time for. And I think that's a really important part. You can walk into a room, an area. There's probably at least 5 times a day you could do something nice for someone else. Little things, opening up a door for someone, just noticing if someone's kind of feeling down, just kind of ask them how they're doing. All those little things just to show you care. So it doesn't have to be humongous. And it's interesting because when there's a lot of billionaires out there, and that billionaires start big foundations. Pritzker has,
which are great.
Yeah, Pritzker Pavilion, all the things they give money to, which is great. But why do you think they do that? Why don't they spend their time making more billions? I think maybe because when they make their billions, they figure out this is not all there is, and this is not going to make me happy. And so then they start to understand what the true value of life is. It's really in giving.
And I think at the end of the day, when you sit and have your chat with God before you go to bed at night, it's nice to not think about just the checks I wrote out helping the various organizations or somebody that I have a passion for, but also what I gave of myself, I gave of my heart, of my time. Maybe it took me a little bit longer to sit and have a conversation with somebody who really just needed to talk or was maybe had lots of words in their head that they were trying to get out, and maybe it made me a little late. And that's okay, because you make up for it. I'm a firm believer that, and I was taught this at an early age, what you give, you receive back tenfold.
Yes.
And I truly believe that. So, at night it's nice to kind of go over, well, what did I do good today, God? And these are the things that maybe, can help us all along the way and just help our journey through Earth a little bit better.
Can you imagine if everyone had the same mindset, Mileen, in this world?
Wouldn't it be a nice area to
Wow.
Earth to be in?
It would really,
for sure.
Where everyone that you meet is all they care about is helping other people and do what they can. And it doesn't have to take money, right?
And we are so lucky in this world, in this country. I mean, I can remember one mission trip I was on, and I was laying in bed with Doreen Collins at night after we had been out on a medical mission in Belize. And I said, Doreen, I don't know why was I born so lucky? I was born into a great family. They brought me up in the Catholic faith. I've never been without want. I've never had a need that I can say took away any of my basic needs that I was having trouble with. I said, why me? Why wasn't I born in some other country where maybe people aren't treated as well, women aren't treated as well? And she said, well, I think you have lots of talents, and I think God just wants you to share them with them, and that's why you were put here in this place. And it's why we were all put here on this earth. It's just to help each other out.
Yeah. I would like to end with a short video clip from Matthew Kelly, and it's really talks about how generous are you, and it's just interesting. And then I'd like to get your feedback of what your thoughts were after we see it. Okay?
Okay.
This just very short 1-minute video or something. We'll be right back.
The generosity habit is simple. Give something away every day. It doesn't need to be money or material things. In fact, the philosophy behind the generosity habit rests on this singular truth. You don't need money or material possessions to live a life of staggering generosity. Express your appreciation. Catch someone doing something right. Teach someone the thing you know more about than anything else. Spread a positive message, compliment a stranger, be a generous lover, encourage someone just starting out. And if you do have money and things, give an unexpected gift, plant a tree, support small businesses in your area, buy a musician's first album, tip twice as much as usual, send flowers, give chocolates, give some more chocolates, pay for the next person in line. So go on. Astound the world with your generosity. Become the most generous person the people in your life have ever known.
In just a short minute, Matthew Kelly gave you several different ways that you can really be generous with your time, your energy. I think you said talents.
Time, talents, and treasures.
Time, talents, and treasures.
Yep.
So ask yourself, what are your times, talents, and treasures? There's opportunities everywhere. So what are you waiting for? Keep listening, keep praying. God bless. Thank you, Mileen.
Amen. Thank you, Mike.